Hello, my fellow language gamers, and welcome back to the channel where we are discussing the deeper strategy behind this game heading into Language Land. This is a language learning card game that I designed to help make your language learning journey truly unforgettable. It has printable, virtual, and real deck formats, and you can learn more about it at languagecardgames.com. Today we're going to talk about the leader card type, and I believe there's 3 leaders in this first edition of the game, if I recall correctly. Timigan, Kurgak, and Fire Circle. So what does this card type do? Well, if you have a leader on your team, you will get to add 1 to your battle rules for every character on your team who is not a leader. So basically, if you have a leader and a bunch of other characters who are not leaders on your team, you're going to get to add massive power to your battle roll. By the way, these are the characters who have white names, and these are the characters who have black names. And, you could call them basically the good guys and the bad guys in this game if you want to. But I just want to point out that these guys don't have any leader types yet, but they will in future editions. So this little trick, this little strategy, you can only pull off really with the quote-unquote the good guys. Because as you're building your team in this game, you have to ally and build your team with characters of the same color name. Okay, so let's put together a little mock battle here and see how it goes. Let's imagine that I have 3 allies on my team and 1 leader. Okay, and maybe on the other team we have these guys. Let's just put a few over here, a few different baddies. We got a Gablin, a Tweetsy, a Troll, and a Word Wraith. Okay. Now, as you guys know, in this game, we would have a board with many spaces. We would make like a grid of cards that would represent the board. But I'm just going to put 1 space here because we just need to symbolize that we're heading into a battle. So 1 player is here on the space, and the other player decides that they want to battle them, so they move to the same space and we start the battle. So when we have a battle in this game, what happens is both players will have a chance to roll the dice and speak about a topic on one of their team cards. So let's assume that both fighters spoke successfully about the topic that they needed to. Well, then we have to go to the roll-off, or the so-called battle roll, and this is where the leader type comes into play. And how we calculate your total strength for the roll-off is we combined your total number of cards, so like this team has 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, we add the number of longevity points you've already accumulated during the course of the game. So if you've got 5 here, that would be 9. And then we roll a dice and add that value into the calculation as well, because it adds a little bit of randomosity, a little bit of chance. So let's imagine that, heck, just to make it easy, rolled a 1. So the total strength here would be 10. But then I get to add in 3 more points because I have a leader and I have 3 non-leaders. So the leader function is I can add 1 point to my battle roll for each of the non-leaders. So I would add 3 to this battle roll of 1, so it's like I have a battle roll of 4. So all together, now I have, the 4 cards, the 5 points I already have accumulated during the course of the game, and then 4 on the battle roll. So I've got a total strength of 13. Now over here, 4 cards plus 5 on the dice is 9. Let's imagine that he rolled a 1. Well, then his total strength would be 10. So it's 13 to 10, and this team wins. This player wins. Let's say that you had another leader on your team. you don't get to add a point for other leaders who are on your team. So the way the rule works is if you have a leader on your team, you can have more than one leader on your team, but assuming you have at least one leader on your team, then you get to add 1 point to battle rolls for each of the non-leader characters on your team. One more point I want to mention before we go is that Kurgak has a similar type power text in that he can allow you to add some points to your battle roll. What his rule text says is you may add 1 to your battle roll for each one of your characters that you will cycle after the battle. So if you do that battle roll, and if you add everything up and you find out that you still don't have enough to beat the other player, you can use Kurgak's power text and say, okay, I'm going to throw away this character after the battle and add 1 point to my battle roll. Or I'm going to sacrifice everybody on the team and add 4 points to my battle roll. So that will allow you to potentially or assuredly win the battle, and then you would have to cycle or get rid of your other characters' cards. Alright, that's it for this video today. Just a little bit about some of the different ways we add points to battle rolls. Remember that the battle rolls happen when both speakers speak successfully. It's sort of like a way to break the tie. And then the loser would get knocked off the space back. They would be off the board and have to re-enter the board on their next turn. They would have to lose 1 LP off their longevity point die. And then the winner remains on the space and gains 1 point on their longevity point die. And then if you're down to 0 on the LP, then you lose the game. You're totally out of the game. All right, I hope this video helps. I hope you're enjoying the game and getting a lot of value out of it. Remember that we're playing online every Saturday, so you can come out and join us and give this a try. Hope to see you in a future game. Bye-bye for now.